Hello, my name is CC Neverender, and welcome to the pilot episode of the Gold Split Podcast. I'm here with my co-host,
Squidbird!
And today we have a guest with us today. It is CalciumLemon.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good.
CalciumLemon is a dear friend of mine. And you are here to help us out with our pilot episode. So we are giving it a shot.
Pokemon Snap.
So do we want to just go with that, or do we want to redo it?
I mean, that sounds good. I'm not really used to saying hello to people I already said hello to. So it's kind of
I know. It is a little
unnatural for
weird.
me.
That is sort of the thing with like doing multiple takes, is that you get the most genuine take usually the first time if it's like supposed to be organic, and then every time after that it just feels like okay. I'll go ahead and do a sync, or let's do a sync right now. This is probably a bad time to do a sync. Should have done it at the beginning, but so I'm going to count it down. Recording. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and then everyone says go at the same time.
All right. Does it matter if I'm still recording everything?
Yeah, just keep recording everything.
All right.
Because we can always cut whatever out, whatever we have to. So,
yeah, okay. That's fine.
All right. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
All right. So now everyone has a go in their audio track.
Yeah.
So that should be a way to sync up everybody.
Yep, that sounds fine.
Okay. So, how do we want to do this? So we want to know more about you, Lemon. Like, we want to know more about the runner behind the controller. Right? We want to know more.
So like me personally?
We want to know about you personally. While we're at it, while we're playing this game, you can tell us about this game that you're running, and you can tell us all about, how that, all this stuff. You can tell us what you're doing, how it's going, how you got into the game, what your thoughts are on the game, the community, and stuff like that. But this is a conversation that we are having with you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
understood.
All right. So,
all right.
Wait.
So it's basically a private stream.
So we're just like getting right into the conversation here.
I mean, if
we
can start just like slam the reset button and get going here.
Why not? Let's go. Let's get going.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that intro was like a trial or if it was the one.
This is why it's a pilot. This is where you test everything.
We're gonna work out the kinks.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna go ahead and start the run now, or do we want to talk a little bit first?
I guess I could like introduce myself.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and introduce yourself.
Exactly.
So first of all, don't forget this is going to be heard by people who maybe don't know who you are. So this isn't just to me and you. This is like, let's say you're streaming for a brand new audience. Let's say you just got hosted by, it's not a huge host. It's like a 10, it's like a 15 viewer host. Let's not scare the boy. All right. If he's in front of AGDQ, he's going to freak out.
Yeah, just little tears. If you just couple.
You just got a big 15-person host, and you have to introduce yourself to those people.
So something like, hi, my name is CalciumLemon, and I'm a speedrunner for Pokemon Snap, mostly any percent, and I'm working my way to top 4. How's that?
All right, cool.
All right. When did you first play Pokemon Snap?
What was that?
When was the first time you played Pokemon Snap?
First time I played
Pokemon. Is this a game that is from your childhood, or did you just pick it up as a speed run?
The first time I ever played Pokemon Snap was probably at my cousin's house. He had the game, and I would watch him play. So that was pretty much my only way I have interacted with the game since before I got older and I rented the game a long time ago when Blockbuster was still around.
The good old days.
Yeah, when they had the little printout.
Yeah, that was
kiosk.
I remember doing that.
You can find those on eBay for like $500.
A whole kiosk.
Yeah, I saw it for like $1,000 whenever I was looking it up.
Maybe I'm thinking of $1,000.
I mean, they were pretty cool. Make a sticker, slap it on your backpack. Coolest kid at school.
Yeah, man.
Kind of thing. And then,
it's crazy to think that those still exist. Like somebody has kept those around.
Somewhere out
haven't
there.
been lost to history.
So when did you start running the game?
I started running the game after I watched AGDQ way back in the day before it is what it is now. Who was the one that ran it? I always forget.
It's Karmers, by the way.
Karmers was the first one. He ran it. I thought, well, sitting here in my dorm room. I'm between working all the time and boredom. I thought, well, I got an N64 at home. I can just order Pokemon Snap. I can give it a go. It didn't seem too rough at first, so I thought it'd be a good beginner speedrun kind of thing.
So
I kind of stuck with it ever since.
So this is your first speed game?
Well, technically my first speed game was Portal because I could just download it from Steam.
Right.
But I never really got into it. I had like, 22. But I never, recorded it. I never had OBS. I just did it just to do it
Just for
every
fun.
day. Yep. So Pokemon Snap is the first recorded speedrun I've ever done.
Cool.
I guess I should probably play the game. Fuck.
If you want to go and get started, we can go ahead and start it up. So, yeah, this is how we met, Lemon.
This is how we met. Also, the game is muted for me. 1 second.
You should probably mute that. Ay, cha cha cha.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it was either.
Hold, please.
Please hold.
Podcast comes to a screeching halt. Oof.
Well, it's just a test.
Yep, I'm back. Alright, just a test. I'm not sure what... But it's probably nothing expensive, so... Alright, now that I can hear the game, let's begin. Did I miss anything?
No, not.
Okay.
Nothing.
Besides, blooper reel. Alright.
So,
let's start off here.
what was the scene like when you first started running the game?
When I first started running the game, I remember the AJ Johnson tutorials. And, I don't know, somewhere along the line, I decided I'm going to stream it, and then CC has become a part of my life ever since.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
The never-ending pillar.
It was pretty quick, too. Like, it was like not even 2 days of me attempting
Was it
runs.
really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
he shows
man.
up, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to whip you into shape.
Yeah,
Like, well, alright.
I think the first time I did runs, CC did show up into my stream as well.
Dude,
Like
he's
the
like
first day?
a training ninja. He's like, you don't know it, but you want me to train you right now.
It's
You guys
crazy
don't
because
know.
I was watching like his tutorial on YouTube, and then like a week later, I do my first run, and this guy shows up in my chat, and then it turns out we live in like the same city, and then we met up like a month later in real life. It was insane.
I know, right? But, CC likes to move fast.
The internet's a beautiful place, I gotta tell you.
Well, I'm glad that all worked out, too. Because, I wouldn't be as good as the game I am without CC, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Well-
for the people at home, why are you looking at a blue screen?
Oh, what I'm doing right now is called lag reduction. So basically, I like Quo's shard of glass. Imagine the polygons like shards of glass. Would you rather drag yourself over 100 shards or 10 shards? Thus the game would run a little bit faster. I wish I could
I like
explain that
that.
a little bit better. Just like it from Quo. I don't have a time rub, so everything's all...
No,
I gotta
gotcha.
look at stuff.
Yeah, you're coming up to Doduo right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the N64 specifically has issues with rendering 3D stuff like en masse. Like if there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, then the 3D renderer has issues like keeping up with everything and keeping a 30 frames per second output. So the more stuff is on screen, the more work it has to do, and it slows down a bit. So if you can actually keep stuff off screen, it doesn't render that, which means that it doesn't have to worry about actually, rendering and showing that to the screen, and so it has less work to do. So that's
Almost-
able to keep up FPS.
Yeah, almost every N64 game has that sort of issue with 3D models. Except like Super Mario 64. It doesn't have that big
That's
a deal, does
not
it?
true at all.
It's
No,
not good?
SM64
Alright, well, I don't run the
has
games,
a
I was just
shit
like-
ton of lag.
Okay, well,
For sure.
I'll shut up.
Yeah, like
You would know, Squid.
you
I
have
just
to
never
hold.
noticed it like casually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to hold the controller in like a claw fashion at certain points in the game, because like especially when you're swimming, you have to like keep swimming with A, but then turn the camera with C left. So you have like your thumb on A and your index on C left. It's insane.
I'm glad I don't have to do any claws here. The most uncomfortable thing I have to do in speedrun is mashing. Kind of, it wears on you. I almost split again. There's nothing
And
to split.
my arms definitely hurt after playing this game.
Yeah, I saw you. You switch like controllers mid-run. It's insane.
Oh, and that's for SM64. But for this game, whenever I'm scrolling through text, I'd like vibrate my arms rapidly.
Yeah, that's my strategy too.
And, like,
CC, you have a different
workout.
strategy I think, for mashing?
Yeah, I do. I hold the controller in such a way that I can sort of like move my hands. Like I can sort of, I don't know how the word is.
It's like a rocking.
I can alternate.
motion.
Yeah, I can rock it. I can move my left hand up and my right hand down, and then vice versa. So I'm kind of like karate chopping like a massage, you know? I'm kind of doing that action with the controller in my hands, and then I use my thumbs and just kind of hold them still, and then I just move my hands up and down, and that tilts the controller away and towards my fingers, so that I can alternate between A and B like pretty quickly. If I kind of do like a really fast like karate chop action, I can mash pretty quick.
Yeah,
So
I do the vibrate method like Squid.
Yeah, I do that because that hurts my arms after a while, and so
Yeah,
I
it
did
does.
that because it's more comfortable for me to do that like sustained, and I can have a pretty good tempo and rhythm control if I do it that way without having to worry about hurting my arms too much. Like when it gets really intense, it still hurts my arms a little bit, but it's more manageable IMO.
We're coming up to the Diglets here, and this is one of my favorite spots because it made you so angry that I didn't know about Triple Dug Trio. You're
Lemon,
like,
you
"How
have
did
a
not
you have a
know?"
habit. You
No,
have a
it's not
habit of
It's like it's just
of-
ignorance. That's all.
yeah. But it's
But
like
it
with
makes
everything.
me happy that it triggers you so hard. I don't know why. I forgot to take a picture of Haunter.
No, you took one, I think.
I didn't. Did
I
I?
don't know. I want to say you did. You were looking right at it.
You have the right picture count.
Oh, all right. Well, I
Yeah,
don't
you have 2
remember
more
it.
pictures, which will be 12.
Now we're coming up to my least favorite part of the game.
You don't like
yeah.
magnets?
You don't like magnets? I kind of
they-
like them. I
they
mean,
never
doing-
cooperate.
it's very active. This is my-
Doing
this is my 1
magnets
second
like
tattoo.
optimally is really tough. Doing magnets like by
like that,
by
okay.
themselves isn't
That
a
was
big
actually
deal,
pretty
but
good.
doing everything like perfectly all the time is pretty tough.
The
There's a
magnetons
lot-
didn't come towards me. I always threw that apple a little too late. It's becoming a habit.
Yeah.
I gotta
I think
wait
it's a little too
little bit longer.
early you threw it.
Early, that's what I mean. If I threw it late, he would actually go towards it. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
It's all good.
Yeah,
So
okay, I did take a picture of Haunter. Good. Woo, well, thank God.
it's safe to assume you're a Pokemon fan.
Oh, I
Not
am.
that-
It is
I
one
don't
of the
know
most
that.
beloved franchises of all time.
What,
I'll
what's
never
your
live that down.
What's your favorite game outside of Snap?
Outside of Snap? Like
so,
Pokemon
it
game?
could be main franchise or another spin-off.
Ooh. I want to say it's Heart Gold, Pokemon Stadium games, with just the nostalgia and the mini games inside it. What else? I'd say I'm a pretty big fan of the pinball game too.
Oh, for Game Boy?
Yeah, for the Game Boy.
Yeah, with the
The one that has like
batteries,
the
with rumble.
accelerometer.
Yeah, it's got a little like you put a AAA in it and it
battery in it,
vibrates. Yeah. I used to like
Remember?
that game. But
Oh wait,
that was
am I thinking of Kirby Tilt and Tumble?
Yeah, that's the game I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Okay.
That game
Oh,
was
sorry.
crazy.
That one has rumble though.
Speaking of obscure games, you guys know Boktai? Remember that? You gotta hold it up to the sun. It's got a little photo sensor in it. You don't remember
Is
that?
that-
Oh, fuck it, look it up.
I don't think I ever had that. Is that the one, the Kojima game where you're a vampire hunter?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
You stand outside.
I have heard of it, but I never actually played it
Oh, that's pretty
or
ridiculous.
seen footage, to be honest.
Well,
I
anyway,
just
that's
heard
off topic. It just jumped in my mind.
it. Everything's off topic, dude. It's a podcast.
Oh.
We're just here to chill.
Yeah,
So-
alright. I prefer these two far apart.
So
Yes,
you
so-
watched AGQ 2014? I think that's
I think
when
it
the
was
Farmers Run
2014,
was.
yeah. That was like the first year I was in the Air Force.
How did you come across the event?
Twitch. Twitch was like my main source of entertainment. Because all I had was a PS4 and I had Twitch app.
Okay.
Yep.
So it was
that
just a
like-
front page thing, and you watched it.
Yeah,
and
it was
you're
like yeah, it was just like that front page thing. I think it was who I was watching a lot of Cherno TV at the time, and I think he mentioned it, and I checked it out way back in the day.
So you knew. So Cherno does speedruns, but you watched him before AGDQ.
I think I did, yes.
Okay.
It was like
so,
4 years ago.
So was he your first experience with speedrunning, or did you watch somebody else before that?
My first experience with speedrunning. That's a good question. First experience with speedrunning. I want to say it's Trihex with Yoshi's Island.
Did you see like on YouTube or on Twitch or?
I think it was introduced to me from a friend. I think Vardenfall. It was Vardenfall. He introduced me to Tri-Hacks. He was watching them, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, guess I'll watch them too.
I think for me, I had kind of heard of speedrunning like as a concept, but I never really understood it or understood any of the tricks or stuff or where to find anything about it. And I had kept hearing about like Cosmos, Wind Waker, world records and stuff, and I thought, oh, that sounds kind of cool, but I don't know where to watch. I apparently I was an idiot. I didn't know how to use the internet. But I remember I used to watch Achievement Hunter all the time, and Ray Narvaez Jr., Brown Man, he would talk about speedrun sometimes, and then I think I saw he was going to AGDQ one year, and then he mentioned it, and I was interested, and then I saw a video on YouTube that was like, hey guys, check out AGDQ, it's a cool event. I was like, oh, well, that sounds like speedrun stuff, that's what Ray talks about, I'm gonna go watch that. And so I watched it, and then I was instantly hooked. I thought, this is the coolest stuff. My mind was blown, because I think it was 2015 is when I first started watching.
Oh, I take that back. I realized the first person I ever watched speedrun anything. It was Siglimic.
You watched Siglimic?
Yeah.
Back in his heyday?
Back in the day. I was like, man, what did I watch back in when I used to not be in the Air Force?
You know what's funny is
Siggy.
My first experience with Siglimic was I had heard of Siglimic and what he does, like he was a speedrunner, right?
Right.
But whenever I looked him up on Twitch, he was like a RuneScape streamer.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
like he retired from speedrunning, he just did RuneScape. I was like, is this the guy everyone loves? And because he only got like 10 or 20 viewers or something, like it was a very small number of viewers.
That was a long time
streams,
ago. Wow.
Which no offense to Siglimic or RuneScape streamers or anything like that, but yeah, it was just like oh, I'm gonna go mining today. I was like, oh,
of course I do, for sure.
Yeah, so back in the dark days when I played League of Legends, I watched a lot of League on Twitch, and I remember on the front page I saw that like Super Mario 64 had like a couple thousand viewers, and I was like, what? This game is being streamed and it has a lot of viewers? What is this all about?
It just blew your mind?
Yeah, and then it was either Punke or Siglemic at the time. This was like, I want to say 2013 or 14. But I checked it out, and I was like, that was my first introduction to speedrunning. And then I found like clips of AGDQ on YouTube and stuff, and I kind of got away from it all because I didn't have internet for like a year and a half of my life, or at least not at home, so it was really hard to do anything. But I eventually got back into it when I saw a summoning salt video, funnily enough, on SM64. And I was like, I remember these guys. And so I checked out Punke streaming when he was live one day, and I decided I'm going to learn how to speedrun this game. And
this is rather recent?
Yeah, it's like, I haven't even been speedrunning a year. Like,
oh, really? Wow.
Like,
I'm a
newbie.
Sometimes I feel like that. Quill makes me feel like that. I'm like, damn, I don't know shit.
But yeah, it's been a great experience. Like, it's really rewarding and fun, and the community's great.
It definitely is. That PB high you get.
Oh man.
That dopamine rush. You're like, oh yeah.
Dude, I'm still buzzed off my 2106.
Damn, dude.
Sometimes I just wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I'm 5th place.
Feels good.
Shit. Feels good, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, come
You're
on.
really close.
Ah! I know, right? Yeah.
So,
yes.
So you said that was really close. What were you going for?
I was trying to knock Weeping Bell into the pond very early. It saves it roughly around 10 seconds, for me at least. Okay. So you have a chance. It depends on Weeping Bell's movement around the pond, which is random every time. But with that setup that I am still trying to perfect, you're able to knock them in way before you even take a picture of Coffins. You know, starting the evolution process earlier, and you can get out of here quicker.
Nice.
It's starting to be very important to me that I get that right.
And luckily,
So
you
one
did
thing-
get the cloister.
I did get the first cloister, but I messed up on the Porygon, so I
Yeah, I
didn't
saw
really
that.
get a 3K picture of, you know, the flying oyster. I just split, so hopefully I didn't. I just tried to split. Let me make sure that it'll be fine. I just make
So-
sure it didn't stop the recording. Yep.
So real quick before we really continue, I've noticed that we haven't really talked about the game that much. I don't know how we want to approach that. Like, should we be talking more about the game? Squid.
Well, a lot of it comes in like bursts. So since we all know how
Yeah.
the game is done, we can definitely talk about.
yeah, I
if
feel
we know
like
ahead of time-
maybe this test isn't the best because we know all about the game because we're all snap runners.
Yeah, it
Well,
is kind of
well,
awkward.
well,
for me to explain things
the
to
way
you.
I'm thinking about this test is, like, how do we talk? Like, what are our tendencies? Like, I'm listening for that stuff.
Yeah.
The
Like,
content.
I'm trying
like,
to keep an open mind.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We all know how Snap works and stuff, so I know we won't have a ton of questions for
Yeah.
like
Go get it, buddy.
the game. There's nothing really interesting to us in the sense that, you know, we're gonna ask, oh, what's this? But I think if we could do one more test with Lemon at a later time where he does like OOT, or
Right.
or if we find someone else that we can test with.
I think
with another game.
CJ said he wanted to do a test with like Mario Kart or something,
Okay.
which is a game that we're not familiar with, or at least I'm
Yeah.
not that familiar with. I don't know about yourself.
I only know like as far as OOT goes, I only know what I've seen from Lemon's stream. I'm not that big into OOT. So
Yeah, all my tricks are pretty much the basic of the basic,
yeah.
like the newbie doobie tricks.
On the other hand, though, I also kind of liked how we're just having an organic conversation about just speedrunning in general, that we're not having to look at the game and stuff. So,
Yeah.
How
I just
long
thought
do you usually have the podcast for? Like,
well,
what's
this is
your
our
goal
first.
time?
This is our first attempt. We were kind of aiming for like an hour or less. So I don't know how we're going to handle that.
I don't know, I guess it's a little bit harder because, you know, the speedrun's like more than halfway over right now.
Right.
I don't think we even touched 15 minutes yet.
We're about, I think, 16 minutes into the run.
Well, I was thinking like we can include practice footage. You know, like if it's like a short game, like if for whatever reason we had like a 16-star runner come on, they could just like do ILs for a little bit before they go through the whole game.
Oh, like starting off. Oh,
Yeah, just like, you know,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Or like, for example, with Snap, we could have done like Weeping Bell snipes.
Yeah, I was
You know,
actually thinking
and then,
about
like-
practicing.
And then like, you know, once it got to the run, then we could be like, oh, will he get it? Will he get it? And it'll kind of make like a cool, like little thing.
Right.
So that's something we can consider is just like, you know,
Just make a montage of me messing up. There you go.
Well, we'll go back to that after the run is finished.
Yeah.
We can keep talking for a little longer,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of just play around and practice in certain areas.
It's like that's enough.
Where were we when I left off? I had interrupted you.
for shame.
For shame, indeed. We were talking about in cave. We were talking about something. Well, I guess we can just go ahead and skip and go on to something else.
Talk about
So-
Weeping Bell Snipe? In cave?
Yeah, well, before Weeping Bell Snipe.
Before Weeping Bell Snipe, you talking about the Grimer?
No, we wouldn't talk
what-
about
what were
Grimer.
we- No, I mean, I thought you meant like physically in the cave.
No, anyway,
I forget
it's
what
not
we're
important. We can just go ahead and resume with something.
All right.
So, so we were talking about you getting into speedrunning, and we talked about stuff like that. So
Nothing,
why did
fine.
you pick Pokemon Snap? Was it just that you
Um,
saw the Karma's run, or
I had the means to do Pokemon Snap. I had the time to do it at the moment. And it looked like something accessible with all the resources I saw on speedruns.com. So I'm like, hey, I'll give it a shot. See what I can do. I started off with the Wii VC.
What was your first
virtual
time?
console.
My very first time? Ooh.
Yeah, like it can be ballpark.
Like
I don't remember
26
my
something?
first time.
I think 26.
Was that your first recorded time?
My first recorded time. Oh, like first time like not recorded?
I was just curious.
I think it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think mine was about 30 minutes.
I was learning. Yeah, oops, that's bad. I was trying to learn as I went too. I had notes I took. CC. I don't know if you remember this. Remember when I was talking about my notes? In my dorm room, I had them all taped up on the wall so I can see which Pokemon was worth how many points, and I would do math as I was going.
Oh boy.
That was the homework I did. I still have them somewhere. I want to give them to you. This is what you made me do.
I think the very first time I recorded a run, at least with the timer, is I had like an hour and a half because I was literally watching the video, and I would like pause the game, watch some video, and then play, and then pause the game, watch some of the AJ tutorial, and then keep going. And so my first like actual like attempt without stopping was about 31 minutes, I think. And
31, that's actually not bad.
Yeah,
mine was around the same.
It's a pretty. I think it's a pretty standard time.
Standard, about half hour.
Yeah,
but then again, mistakes and maybe a couple retries.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why it took me that long was because I hadn't started speedrunning or whatever. Like, so I had already been doing Super Mario Sunshine runs, so I kind of knew speedrunning in general. But I did Pokemon Snap on a whim because this is right around the time where Satoru Iwata passed away. And
rest in peace.
I did it. Yeah, rest in peace. I did a stream where I wanted to play only Iwata games, and he is like the producer on like 1,000 games. So if you look at his credits list, it's like insane how many games that he has been a part of. Which is why I think his death was such a terrible loss, was because he was such a big influence and such a broad stroke of games.
I think he started with HAL Laboratories, right?
Yeah, that was like where he first started as a programmer. And so I was looking through the games and I saw Sunshine was on there, so I did a Sunshine run on stream. And then I think I switched from that. I was looking through other games and I saw Pokemon Snap. And I'm like, okay, well, out of all the lists of games that I have in my house right now, Pokemon Snap is one of those. So I picked it up. I was like, I love this game. It's been a long time, and I played it. And I had just done a speedrun of Sunshine, and I was thinking, I played it Snap, and I thought, this is kind of fun. I love this game. I want to play some more of it. I wonder what the speedrun stuff is for Snap. And I looked it up, and that's how I kind of understood that there was a community around it. And Game Fan Dan had just gotten the world record a couple of days ago. And so I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a current community. This is popular. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this up. So I did a little mini playthrough on stream, and then I decided to pick up the game as a speedrun. And yeah, I've been in a speedrunning community ever since.
Yeah, you've been kind of the go-to mentor because you have all those resources.
Yeah,
all those resources. You've done a lot of legwork for the community.
I have. Sure. I don't want to toot my own horn.
No, go for it.
I try to remain humble, but I mean that sincerely. I really do, because
be humble.
I feel like I'm sort of a more or less unspoken pillar of the community. A lot of people have like come and gone, and a lot of people are kind of in the shadows. But I'm constantly in other people's chats. Like, you guys can both attest. Like, I am always on Twitch, and I'm always looking for Snap streams. And as soon as I see a Snap stream, I go online and I check. And if it's a speedrunner, I'm in there. I'm there, and I'm chatting, and I'm trying to be helpful, and I'm trying to pass on knowledge and invite them to the community. And I think if you were to pull, like do a survey of all the people in the Snap Discord who have ever streamed Snap, if they have seen me in their chat before, it would probably be like 60 or 70%.
I think if you look at the videos that are currently up, I think you're in almost all of them.
Like I'm not kidding when I say I am always in these people's chats because I care about this. So
you are very passionate about this game. I am able to give you that, absolutely.
It's inspiring.
And it'll make it all the more sweeter when I still beat you.
Yeah. So this is why this is like my game. You know, this is my speed game of choice. So I'm always.
Oh, real talk, CC.
Yeah.
Real talk. Do you have a hidden PB just waiting for me to stomp you and then you can just kick me out? Just be honest with me. I'm not going to be mad. Just tell me.
No, I don't.
Okay, thank God.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I had a nightmare about that last night. Like, what if I'm so
you
happy
woke up in
and
a
then
cold
you just
sweat?
I'd probably just stop talking to you. Like, I'm done.
No, I would expect you to. That'd be a very rude thing for me to do.
I'll be like, damn, I expect that from Quo, but not from you.
There's something that people do. I know in the Goldeneye community. I don't know if they do it anywhere else, but they call it hoarding.
Hoarding,
And,
like they just hoard a PB and wait.
Yeah. So like a group of them will like, okay, all of us, we're gonna do these runs, and then we're gonna keep secret, and we're gonna compile it into one big, like, maybe like one big video, but it's also like an archive they release like every year, and it's like, hey, the new unhoarding is coming out next week. And I was like, oh boy, what's going to happen? And then someone's like, boom, untied world record. Boom, untied world record. You know, like world record sweep on all 3 difficulties on this level. And it's like, whoa, that record's been standing for like 4 years, and someone just came in and they did it, and they kept it to themselves. They're like, they hid it away. Like they like a dragon with gold, and they hoarded it in a little pile underneath, and they didn't let anyone know, and except for themselves. They all kept it a secret, and then all of a sudden they just released like just a slew of world records and in PBs and stuff, and it's really cool to see that kind of thing. It has a name, I forget what it's called. But,
I think the unhoarding sounds pretty good.
It's not called unhoarding. It's like a Kappa something or other, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't particularly subscribe to that philosophy.
I don't either.
I don't like it.
I don't do offline runs. I do only online runs, and as soon as I get a run that's good, as soon as I PB, I highlight that and I submit it. I don't try to hide that kind of thing.
I've practiced offline, but I've only done runs. Like you probably have all seen them.
Yeah.
Every run I've done.
One of my favorite things about the speedrunning community is its collaborativeness. So whenever I see, like, I think there was a controversy in like Banjo-Kazooie or Tooie or one of those games, where someone had gotten the world record, and they had showed the video to the other mod team, but they would not release the video. So the run was verifiable by mods, but he had done some new tricks or something that he didn't want to share. So he hid the video from the public.
What? But why?
And he's like, I got world record, and I got these strats, and the mods can verify it, but I'm not letting anyone else see the video. And I thought, that's so against the spirit of competition. And it really annoyed me when I heard that.
That's scummy.
Well, those mods should be replaced then. That's not like, you can't claim something and not have video evidence of it.
He does have video evidence. He showed them.
He does. Yeah, he showed the mods, but everyone's got to be. It's got to be like open, free reign, open source. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I mean, like he technically didn't break any rules. I felt it was kind of scummy, and I could be totally wrong. Just a disclaimer: this could be a different community, a different game. I could have even misheard the situation. I'm pretty sure I heard the situation. I'm pretty sure it was a Banjo game. It could have been something totally
probably
different.
Nuts and bolts,
but might have been. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's not the first time I've heard controversy with nuts and bolts. I don't know why. That sounds familiar.
It's a.
There was controversy around the game, because it was not a Banjo game.
They were pretty much.
Apparently, it was a fun game.
Like the entire game. So I'm a huge Banjo fan, like casually, and after you beat Banjo 2E, Grunty says, "I'll see you in Banjo 3E." So there was always this expectation that we're going to get another Banjo platformer. And, Nuts and Bolts gets announced, everybody's like excited, and then it gets released and it's like Banjo-Kazooie, but you're pretty much making like a blocky car. And
yeah, it's kind of like Lego and...
it's
like it reminds me of
kind
the
of
gummy
Minecraft-y.
ships, Kingdom Hearts.
Or like kind of like the gummy ship in Kingdom Hearts, kind of like that. But basically, that wasn't Banjo 3E, and the dialogue inside the game states stuff like, it basically talks shit about platforming, like, who cares about collectibles and all this stuff? So like it
so
left
weird. Why would...
I don't know, it left a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouths and stuff. So when they announced Yooka-Laylee, which is like made from the part of the team that was on Banjo-Kazooie,
right, the essence of the original.
I was super hyped. I kickstarted it, I was excited because the kid in me always wanted to play, Banjo 3 or just like another 3D platformer. That wasn't Mario, because Mario has been, I think, the only consistent franchise in 3D platforming.
What were your thoughts on Yooka-Laylee?
I don't. It's so underwhelming. It's, I kind of set my expectations high, but I don't think I set them too high. But like it just feels too clunky of a game, and it feels like it's missing some of that magic. Like I can see like they were on some good they were on a good path, but then something in that game wasn't good.
Sorry.
Like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah,
like
the
atmosphere is lacking. Like there's a lot of open space. Do you think it has something to do
with nostalgia?
I think they could have made a better game. I honestly do. I don't think like that was the best they could make.
Yeah, one of the things that I've taken away from videos talking about it was, so one of the things that you get whenever you have limitations is like you get creativity, right? So whenever you have like a smaller cartridge size, you can only put out so much content, right? So that means that you want to polish the content that you have, you want to maximize your space, you want to do as much as you can with what you have, because you don't have everything. And in the modern gaming age, a lot of times you kind of have like unlimited file size. Like there's no need to optimize things to like the utmost degree. There's no need to make your file sizes like just a little smaller.
The limitations are less and less.
Yeah. And so because there's less limitations, then you kind of have like free reign, and then that does not foster creativity.
Yeah.
So a lot of the levels are kind of just like really broad and really open, but they don't have anything. They're empty.
I'd say that was definitely missing from Yooka-Laylee, because because they can build these huge worlds. I feel like the how do I word this? Like the amount of like for each square inch of space, there was less shit to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the density of things to do was a lot less, and like
it felt empty.
Yeah, like I felt like even though Banjo-Kazooie is like a smaller size game, I guess, it felt bigger because you could do like a lot of stuff, and like there wasn't really a dull moment. There was always some sort of action going on, something exciting. But like with Yooka-Laylee, you're just kind of like walking around mindlessly, like killing minions and picking up pages, and like I honestly didn't play past the third level, so I can't give it like
you didn't even finish?
Like one more time?
You didn't even finish the game?
No, I just felt like I've played enough of this.
Well, if a game doesn't hold someone's interest, I don't think you should force yourself to play it.
No, I get it. But I mean, like that, it surprised me that like it literally didn't hold your interest enough for you to even finish the game.
No. Like that. Like I don't even care about finishing it right now. Like that's how I feel about it. Like, and it's sad because like I wanted this game to be Banjo 3E. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it. I wanted to relive those moments, but I guess that moment has come and gone. And
maybe Yooka-Laylee too. We'll cover that.
But
speaking of sequels, Pokemon Snap is one of those games where I think anytime I stream it or anytime I'm like on my video, I got like hundreds of comments of people saying like, "Man, I wish they made a Snap 2." And
I think someday it'll come back. Someday.
I've read reports, like I've seen tweets and like news articles and stuff where the developers who made this game have stated that they are interested in making a Snap 2, but they don't want to just make the same game with like new levels. They want to make it different, and which is a very Nintendo philosophy, right? Like they don't want to just make the same content. They want to like at least make it interesting and different in some way.
I could see them doing something where you actually control Todd, like his movements.
Yeah, and
like you're like just and you can just wander the level instead of being like on a rail.
But that kind of introduces the whole idea with like the reason why Yooka-Laylee is not Banjo 3E is because they had no limitations.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that could go wrong with a Snap 2 is that if they make a game where it's like, hey, we're gonna put all like 800 Pokemon and we're gonna have just like just forever, just like infinite amount of content, right? Then it's like, okay, but is it dense enough? Are you crafting an experience for me, right? Or am I just kind of walking around aimlessly looking for Pokemon to take pictures of? So I don't know if I agree with the free roam kind of thing. I think it would be kind of interesting.
So
okay, go ahead.
I wanted to bring up Odyssey earlier because that to me is an example of like a modern 3D platformer done well. And obviously it's Nintendo, like, you know, they've been in the game for a while, and it's a Mario game, so it's kind of like, I can't see them messing that up, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, like, you know, they technically didn't have as many limitations as they did with 64, but they still like made a game that was fun and unique and different enough, you know? Like, it wasn't like I was playing SM64, the sequel. It was, I'm playing a new Mario game, you know? Like,
yeah.
And that felt good. And, like, I feel like they could do, like, if anyone can make a Snap sequel, it's Nintendo, obviously.
Right.
Like, literally and, like, figuratively. I think you threw that apple there a little too early, by the way.
Yeah,
just
I did.
a smidge. Just a smidge
it felt weird. Okay, so I want to, like, I'm going to switch my joystick out next time I run this. Because look, I'm holding up.
Oh,
that's me holding up.
To the right.
Yeah, it's moving to the right. Every time. It starts moving to the right. It's probably, I've been missing the 4K Pidgey more often. When I move this way, it moves up and down. Starts like, it doesn't, like, I think I broke it. I think I broke it. So that is my homework tomorrow, is to fix that.
But what were you going to say, Cece?
Yeah, I was going to say before we get too far off the topic. One of the things that I think people are always saying is that we should have free roam with Pokemon Snap 2, right? And I think that might be a bad idea if that was the entire game, right? I think it would be a good idea if there was still a track, but you could like pause, and, like stop or slow down, and then get out, and then run around for a little bit, and then you have to get back into the car after a short time period.
And then
like
there could be like little
tank.
secret paths that you can take, like if you see something.
Right.
Like I could see like something like that.
Like Star Fox, one level but many paths.
Kind of, yeah.
I think if they choose like to keep it like sort of rails like you're suggesting, but like give you a little bit more freedom in terms of like your movement. Like maybe even going
like I like
back
the
and
idea.
forth.
I like that idea of multiple branching paths, and I also like the idea of being able to like, let's say you're driving past a little area and there's a little cave, and you see like a Pokemon bouncing into the cave. You're like, ooh, I want that. Like I want to, stop the car, jump out, and then I'm going to run towards the cave, right? And then, then it's like, oh, well now I'm going to interact with the Pokemon here at the cave. Maybe I have a few minutes of time before like, oh, the safari says I got to get out of here in 10 minutes, so I got to chop. Then you can run into the cave. You can throw some apples or something, take a good picture of the Pokemon, run back to your car, and then you can continue. So something like that, because I think one of the reasons why free roam is bad is just the aimlessly walking around.
Yeah.
But
well, when I suggested it, I wasn't thinking like you could literally go anywhere. Like there would still be a path you'd have to follow, but like maybe you would have to like climb on a rock or like move like a box or like a crate somewhere so that you can reach a spot and get a better angle. You know, kind of like add some platforming elements.
Oh, maybe.
Nice.
Oh, still got it.
Nice.
One of the things that makes Pokemon Snap such a good game is the structure.
Yeah.
You're forced to go through this like really cool environment, and the Pokemon are always on the same cycle, and it's an experience that's crafted. It's not it's necessarily something that's like free form.
Yeah, true.
So I think a lot of people, not you specifically, but like a lot of people I see in comments are like, "Oh, dude, what if you just like run around like in a safari zone, like all by yourself with like no structure?" It's like that's a bad idea. Like you think that's what you want,
There's no
but
journey
in actuality, you would get really bored of that.
Yeah.
So
You can also have the paradox of choice. Too many choices and you don't know what to do.
Yep, that's choice paralysis, I believe is the term.
I thought it was paradox of choice, where you have so many choices, then you end up doing none of them.
That is another, I think, a different.
That's a different thing entirely. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think they're pretty similar, but they might have different names. They might be something different.
Choice paralysis. I've never heard that.
Choice
before.
paralysis, like you have too many choices that you freeze up and you don't know what to pick. It's kind of like if you go into an ice cream shop and they have like 35 flavors, and you're like, chocolate, but the cookie dough looks really good, and oh goodness, but what about the strawberry? And you just can't decide.
That's me when I'm
right?
trying to make my D&D character.
And the other thing is that like they've done studies where like if you have all those choices and you pick one, and they'll ask you how satisfied were you with your choice. They're like, you know what, this one's pretty good, but I was really looking at that grape one, and then the other one was like really good too. And so like you're less satisfied with what you have. But if you only have like two choices, like red and green, right? And you pick, I'm gonna pick the red one. And you're like, how satisfied were you with it? And they're like, you know what? I'm okay with this. You know, like between red and green, I didn't really have too much preference, but I went with red, and I like red. So, you know, there's an idea of like if you have too many choices, then each choice, like the value you get back from that is usually less. So.
Yeah. On that topic, do you think they should include a huge number of Pokemon in the next Pokemon Snap game? Or keep it to like this, where it's 40?
I think
40,
it could be
you know what I mean?
more than 100 easily.
Yeah.
Maybe
fan favorites?
Maybe 200. I think fan favorites, sure, but also some like oddballs.
Yeah, I think what they shouldn't do is they shouldn't just put stuff for the sake of more content. They should like, let's create an environment. Let's pick as many Pokemon as we think would naturally be in this environment, and then let's make a real, sort of, maybe not realistic, obviously it's Pokemon, but like let's make a concerted effort to make like a believable space, and then let's maybe stop there instead of like, I wonder if we can put Pidgey and Pidgeotto and Pidgeot and Spearow and Fearow and this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one, you know. Like, instead of let's try to put as much as we can, let's sort of make a concerted effort to not overdo it. And maybe that means that they only get 250 Pokemon out of the 800. It's like, yeah, we're going to miss some people's favorites, but at the same time, like, you can't have literally everybody, especially when you have, like, what is it, 760 Pokemon or something nowadays?
I think it was 826.
826, goodness. So many.
I think.
Who would
who
would the final Pokemon be? Arceus?
Oh god, you didn't take a picture
You
of God
could.
himself.
You could.
And I think
mean,
that
that's like the end all.
the camera could be a Rodon.
What if, that too. What if
The
it's like a
Toxie.
boss rush, and there's Mew and Arceus and like
And they're all trying to fuck your day up.
Deoxys
And Crozma.
and and,
Ultra
like,
Space. You go
Crozma.
into like Ultra Space and take pictures of Ultra Beasts.
That could be
That'd be
cool.
pretty cool.
And or maybe you just see one of them, but it like randomly cycles through. I
That
don't know.
sounds super dangerous for the cameraman. I screwed that up. Almost hit him though.
But yeah,
We need you to travel dimensions to take pictures, Todd. You're the man for the job. You went into space with no life support.
okay.
Yeah.
So that was about an hour.
Really? Yeah,
I feel like I could keep.
I think that was-
sniping the sweeping belt.
We've been recording for 53 minutes, or I've been recording for 53 minutes, and I did that for about 3 or 4 minutes before we did the intro.
Yeah, I got about 56 minutes on me. Well,
do we want to keep going at all, or do you think we can call it here?
We can call it here if that's cool with you guys. If there's, I'm trying to think of. I had a topic, but when you mentioned the time, I forgot it.
Okay, we were talking about Pokemon Snap 2 and ideas. We're talking about Ultra Space.
Oh, it was a cityscape for Pokemon Snap level.
Yeah,
like you can have like Garbodor, and you can have all.
City Pokemon. In fact, if you look online now, someone has made a video, which unfortunately I hate to shit on it. It's kind of a mediocre animation quality and stuff like that. And they definitely don't understand the Pokemon Snap mechanics, because it does not make any sense in the game. But someone made a video, which is not game footage. It's just a cart that moves through the level, and I think it's Saffron City or something like that, or Fuchsia City. Someone made like their own custom level, quote unquote, for Pokemon Snap, and there's a whole bunch of just different types of Pokemon. There's like a Tentacool that comes out of the sewer. And there's like cool. Magnemites, and a Marill is kind of hanging out in a toy store, and you kind of go like on a highway like through the town, and then I think like an Onix like breaks the highway at some point. You have to like swerve around it. Like it was creative, and I got to give them credit for that.
Speaking of Onix,
and it was interesting.
You know what I really wish they would have added into the game?
To this one?
No, to any Pokemon game. Even if they added his Snap, that'd be great. Snap 2. Crystal Onix. Y'all remember that?
Oh, wasn't
like
that
the
yeah, about to say from the anime.
I always wondered why they never did that. Like, that was such a cool concept, an Onix made of crystal. And like it could even have been in like an Alolan form. Like Ice, Steel, or something like that. Like, I always thought it was
I don't know, that's a good question.
That like not even the shiny is blue, you know what I mean? It's like
I thought there was another Pokemon like that too, where it's like just a freak, or what's a better word for it?
It's a freak.
Not a freak.
That Pokemon's a freak.
Like an albino Pokemon, like something rare, a genetic mutation.
In the anime?
Yeah, and not in the anime. It was in the game too.
In the game, okay. There was the red Gyarados.
The only one coming
was the first one that comes
in the anime, they had the purple Kecleon before Gen 3 was even released.
Oh, they did, yeah.
I remember that.
They had Ash's Greninja, but that's not what I'm thinking of. That was like a weird Digimon combine. Like, I don't know what that was about. I didn't really see the episode, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you were talking about like the Snap video. I watched something where like this guy did Pokemon Snap on Bob-omb Battlefield.
Oh shit.
And that was pretty interesting. And like the last Pokemon is like Bowser fighting against a Charizard or something like that. That was pretty interesting.
That does sound pretty interesting. That's a mashup and a half.
I actually found the video in question. I'll link it here, but I don't know.
Link in the description.
You could
make sure to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 500,000 likes this video.
5,000 up, dudes.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up here, huh, guys?
Yeah, I guess so.
We should have an outro.
That was a joke. Not an actual outro.
All right. Lemon, thanks for doing this video with us. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, C-Things.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So where can people find you?
Where can people find me? They can find me at twitch.tv/CalciumLemon. That's where I hang out most of the time on the internet. Or you can follow our Discord, The Never Ending Circle. CC, you can plug it. I don't know the actual link.
I don't think we have like a definitive link. So
it
would be in the description of the video if we posted this on YouTube, although I don't know if we will post this on YouTube.
No, it's fine. I'm too shy.
Well, it definitely wouldn't be released to the public. It would be unlisted, if anything. And then we can show it around to get feedback.
Oh, speaking of which, you can you can post that video of me missing Mew. I can't find it like when I want to pull it up.
Are you sure? Because
yeah, I don't care.
I think you do care.
I can laugh about it now. Or cry. One of the two. It's the same thing.
That's a good one. Okay.
But yeah.
Well,
shout out to the streamer.
Thanks for watching.
And CJ for how do I put this?
Hi, CJ.
Yeah, I was going to CJ. For letting us do this podcast and providing us with some background assistance. But
yeah. CJ's the homie, giving us some support. So check out thestreamergroup.com. Check out our merchandise. Lemon and I have t-shirts, and we have a poster. Check it out.
On there.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Peace.
And y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
This episode is brought to you also by Kellogg's.
Colgate. Oh.